on Instagram. Looks like we're live on Facebook as well, and YouTube checking in. Awesome. Very cool. Welcome to episode 223 of Wise Advice. We'll do a quick check-in. Take about 10 minutes saying hello to you, see how you're doing, and then we'll get right into the live recording of episode 223. Oh, I think it's going to be fun. Thanks for always being here. As you guys know, this journey is all about us being together as a community, so that's the best part. So Denise checks in first. Good evening to you. How are you? Marcia, looks like you're in on Instagram. Leah's here. Let's see. I made a slight boo-boo. I forgot to reboot my device here. So let me do that real quick. All right, cool. So we're good. So Denise is here. Rebecca, I got you. You checked in. Cheryl says hello. Got that. Got it. Let's see. Trevor's here. Good evening to you. Chris is here. Becky checking in from Colorado Springs. Good evening to you. Megan is here. Good evening to you as well. Let's see. Heather from Ontario. I'm wearing my Toronto shirt tonight, so got that up in Toronto while we were up there, so that was kind of fun. So let's see. All right, cool. Now I just was trying to get this little crazy machine to work. So anyway, Rebecca checking in from Oklahoma. Good evening to you. Just saying hi on my way to bed. Lisa got it. Checking in from Aruba. Very cool, Joyce. Welcome to the podcast from Aruba. That's a first. I know we were international when Canada checked in, but now Aruba, I'm in. I think we should all go visit Aruba, though. Therese is here. Good evening. Happy Monday to you. Mandy is here. Woohoo! Hello. Lisa's dealing with tech support trying to fix my camera. That's no fun. Batesville, Indiana. Angela is here. Angela, hopefully you saw my comment earlier on Twitter. We were tweeting earlier, and so hopefully you saw my reply there. Karen says hi from Lafayette. Been a while. Very cool. Good to see you again. Always a pleasure. Fun. Trevor from North Carolina. Good evening to you. Chris is here. Cleveland. Kathy's checking in. Corey checking in just for a minute from Connecticut. I saw your tweet earlier as well saying you were going to be here just for the minute. Ohio. Mary's checks in. Phoenix. Oh, cool. Elise says hi from Phoenix. So Elise was in on today. We had a Discord chat. For those of you who are patrons of the show, for as little as $1, we do a chat every Monday where we were only, I don't know, there's probably a dozen of us or so maybe in there, kind of just chit-chatting back and forth for an hour. So Elise is where is Alice. So Alice is where is Alice in Discord. So very fun. Always fun to put a name to it. I laugh at you guys in a sense where, I go through this, like, you have a username on Instagram, you have a username on Facebook, you have a username on YouTube, you have a whole different username on Twitter, and then you have a different username on Connect. So I have a hard time, I'll be honest, I have a hard time keeping the names straight because you guys don't all use the same name on every platform. Makes it very, very difficult for me, but it's fun. Karen is here from Long Island. Chrissy from West Hartford, good evening to you. Hey, says Wendy, checking in less than a month ago, or maybe a little over a month ago, and then Wendy will be back. Wendy will be here in Indianapolis, so very cool. Kathy checking in from Syracuse. Lisa, I'll get water meanwhile, even though I drank 1.5 gallons today already. Whew. Jan says, how about me? Hello, Jan, how are you? Heather, no, this was one of my, I tried to pick up, every time I go somewhere, I try to pick up something, and I don't know why, but this particular shirt, when I bought it, I just liked it. Anyway, so I always I was thinking I like this sewn on material thing. I was thinking of getting a shirt that said like Wise Advice or Fat Dag or I Believe or something like that. So someday I'll get around to doing that. It's just one more thing to add to the list that I don't have time to do. Bev is here. Melissa says kind of exciting about the WW rebranding. Yeah, there's only so much I can tell you, but the things that I know about it are awesome. I spent all weekend through training, and they sort of tell us it was confidential, and then they put out a big press release today that explained most everything they told us was confidential. So to be honest with you, I'm hesitant to share because I don't know if I know something that they haven't shared publicly yet. So I will answer. I don't know if I don't know. I don't know how I want to handle that because like I said, it's confidential, but they put a big press release out, which I thought covered like 100% of it. But knowing me, I don't want to say something that was a big secret that they were waiting for a big reveal. But what I can tell you, I guess I will share a little bit. I mean, you saw on Connect, they've rebranded to the name WW instead of Weight Watchers, so that's kind of cool. And so the intent is that we're switching over to a more healthy, wellness that works is the tagline we use now, or they use now. And so really the intent is to focus on being healthy, which I think we all already do. So I think, I mean, I sat through 5 hours of this training, and you know me, right? So I'm not a fan of freestyle in that sense where, so, I mean, when it went from smart points to freestyle, I had a difficult adjustment. I'm now settled in. I now get it. I'm now doing just fine. I figured out what goal was for me mentally. I'm rocking that. I'm happy with that. And I can tell you, after sitting through 5 hours of training, I have zero issues with what the program is going to look like. So that was encouraging for me because I remember sitting through the freestyle training and I wasn't thrilled, and I had to, for 3 or 4 months, trying to figure it out and then try and convince you that it was the right program. And so I don't have to do that this go around. So I'm very excited about that piece. Hopefully you guys saw the 2 things I got for you. The meme challenge. I was on a TV show that I put a link in Instagram. I put the show on Instagram. I put a link on Facebook. I want you to watch the show for 1. And then 2, I took a bunch of screen capture. I was trying to take a screen capture to share with you guys to show you that I was on the TV show. And so I took a bunch of screen captures, and they were all kind of funny, like little things like me going like this, or this, or this, or this. And so I just for fun, I said, let's make a meme challenge where you guys take those pictures and put comments on them. And so some of them are pretty funny. So that's out there for your enjoyment if you want. Very fun. Catherine, checking in from Pennsylvania. Good evening to you. Lisa's here. Maria says, I hear you, but your mouth is still, no, I'm not sure. Ellen from Atlanta, good evening. Chris says, hockey season is around the corner. Go Pens. Jane says, hello, good evening to you. Bloomington, Patricia checks in. Anne is here, good evening. Kelly from Sarasota, good evening. Boiler Up from Chicago, good evening, Ellen. Cheryl from Virginia, good evening. Becky says hi to Glenda. Very cool. Lori says hi, all. Not a football game tonight. Excited about WW today. I agree. Hello from Kentucky. Let's see, scrolling through. Audra is here. Good evening to you. Bedford, Ohio. Louise checks in. Delaware. Vicky's here. Good evening. Go Pens. Dan checking in from Winnipeg. Good evening to you. Let's see. Maria is here. Anne is keeps trying to. Bev says, I have 1 username. I'm not that creative. No, I'm telling you, some of you guys have like 10 usernames. It's I mean, I do too, so I get it, but very fun. First time checking in from Connecticut. Do we ring a bell? Woo! If you're the first time, we ring a bell. That's kind of fun. I don't know. Carrie sent us a bell a long time ago, so we just kind of used it. Pam's checking in from the circus. Good evening. Marcia says, finally made it to Facebook. Hello, everyone. Let's see. Skipping around. Takes me a second to find your comments. Brandy says, I am rejoining. Well, welcome. Good to be here. Good to have you here, I mean. Maria says, I got an email, read it, and watched the video. I'm excited. Yep. So that's the same stuff I got, plus I got a little more training. So I think it's going to be good, really. I think you guys will really, really be happy with. Yeah, Karen, that's the same thing I thought. They kind of led with the rebranding, and then that we're focusing more on health and wellness, and then we want to be a wellness leader in the nation or in the world. And so if you take that in mind, it's all good. Yeah, it's all good. So, hello, Carissa. Good evening to you. Heather says, super excited for the rebrand. Yep. Anne says, what watch do you have on? I have my Nokia. Sorry, it's not Nokia anymore. It's the Withings Steel HR is the Steel HR Sport. So it's a step tracker. It's white. Has a red band. You guys see it on Instagram. It gives my steps right here in the little black circle. I don't know if you can read it. Yep. So I just got it the other day. I put a video on Facebook of me unboxing it for the very first time. So Oklahoma Panhandle, good evening, Helen. So yeah, on Facebook you can watch, and on YouTube you can watch the unboxing video of this. But as soon as it came out, they just re-released it, and I bet you I was the first one to order it. I think I was. I'm gonna say I was. Let's see. Amy says that is exciting to hear you're happy with the new program. Yep. So, Lee says everyone gets $5,000 for each day you track. You know what, Lee? I didn't see that in the manual. I'll have to go back and sit through the training, but I think I missed that part. Rebecca says love the screenshots. Helen says she saw the video. Carissa says super excited about the wellness boost. Me too. Me too. Therese says hi from New Jersey. Good evening. Good evening from Huffman, Texas. Jennifer's here. Woohoo! Jennifer, we talked about you today. I was talking with a marketing company. So I have a big. It's kind of exciting news. I probably didn't mean to just leak it out like I'm going to in like 2 seconds, but I was contacted, I made contact, and then contact was made back with a really big firm out of New York City. And so they have scoured the internet, they've looked at all the material, they looked at everything that I've done, and decided to still press forward with a call. So I had that call today. It was an amazing telephone call. So anyway, Jennifer, the reason I share that is they were asking some of the things I had in the pipeline, and I said I'm going to Huffman, well, not going to Huffman, but I'm going to Houston, Texas. Jennifer invited me out, and so they were asking for details about that. So I don't know, it's just super fun call. So you'll. Well, I'm hoping you have more. I'm hoping I have a lot more to share with you on that. But I mean, a monster firm out of New York City, which is the coolest part was. I reached out to them. I'll be honest with you. I reached out to them and said, "Hey, I need some help, and kind of want to reach more people and all that good stuff." And I really did not expect a reply. I didn't expect a phone call to happen within a day of my reaching out. So. I think that's pretty exciting. I can't wait to see what it looks like. Hopefully it turns into something awesome. That'd be awesome for our community. We really could reach and impact a lot more people that way. New Mexico, Shanna's checking in. So Shanna is another, we all are, but Shanna's a weight loss superstar as well. So her and I know each other from way back, the work we do in the Folds of Honor world. So her journey is very inspiring. So Shanna, good evening to you. Jody from Westport, Mass checking in. Let's see, Stephen is here. Stephen, hopefully, dude, I did it just for you. Hopefully you found the collection of images that you can do for the meme challenge. I hope you found them, because when I was making them, I'm like, oh, Steve will like this one. Steve will like this one. I actually posted a meme on a Meme Monday in Connect for like the first time in forever. So yeah. Let's see, Debbie says we're doing dishes tonight, roasted root vegetables. Very cool. Janice checking in from Bloomington. Christine says, hi, I'm a wellness coach from Florida. I love the new name shift from leader. Very cool. Let's see, Heather said, okay, Greenville, South Carolina. Shannon's here. Yeah, Heather says, shout out for all the Heathers. Yay. All right. Yeah, Jennifer is right. Not celebrating. Jennifer said that, hi, Diane, loved your letter. Not celebrating lifetime, celebrating life. So that is the way to do it. Exactly. Chris says red is bad. Red is not bad. It has nothing to do. This has nothing to do with sports in that regard. This is just red. I don't know. I liked red. Cool. All right. Let's go. You guys want to do episode 223? That's kind of a fun number. Becky says, I like the band. Your unboxing video makes me want one. Hey, so in all honesty, right, if you're inclined to get one, I don't really care, but if you go to fatdag.com and you click on the link from my site, they reward me for you purchasing it from them, just FYI. So if you're going to buy one anyways, that's the place to buy it from. Click on my website. It'll direct you into their website, and then, it just helps the show. So very, very fun. Janine says hi from upstairs. Hi. Good evening. So when I was trying to get a podcast in tonight, I said, I looked at them. I said, "What time do you want to do it?" And I was trying to do 9:30 because I wanted to go to bed early. But apparently The Voice was on, and they were watching The Voice, and so we had to go till 10. So yeah. Lisa's supplied by Patreon, nonetheless. Yep, I agree. All right, let's see. Are you banished? No. Let's see. All right, skip it through. Wendy says, can't wait to meet you in person in November. Yep, Janine will be there. Janine keeps that thing going. All right, let's go ahead and get this done. Jan says, where are the images? The images are on Facebook. I put a couple on Instagram, but if you go to my Facebook Fat Dag page, there was a post there with the images, probably 25 images in there. You certainly can watch the video and cut it up however you want. It was just something fun that we decided to mess around with. 9:18 here in Oklahoma City. Helen, early here. Yeah, Central Time is the best. Tallahassee, Anna is here. Let's see. Steve said post about the rebranding owned his feed today. Yeah, I get it. How do you post your meme elsewhere? You just save it as an image. Take the image. So what you need to do, take the image off my Facebook, save it, add some text to it, and then repost it, and then tag me. So I'm gonna mail. Becky for one. I'm gonna mail some. I'll find something fun to mail you. I don't know what it is. I'll find something, but just to say thanks. See more work. I haven't seen yet. Red is red. So Shannon said red is rad. Got it. Steve says Weight Watchers is everyone's Sears Tower. So. Chris says not a sports reference. Just never liked the color red. I got all kinds of red tonight. I got a red watch, a red shirt. Yeah. Anyway. All right. I'm going to skip ahead. To skip ahead to the bottom. Okay, I made it to the bottom. So cool. All right. So here we go. Episode 223. Let's get it done. My typical water bottle is in the shop. I had to get a different water bottle. So hang out. It won't make the normal popping. Oh, I forgot. Hey, Steve, are you able to text me? Steve, if you're listening to look, I changed my text tone on my phone to be my bottle pop. Let's see. So Steve, text me. I want everyone to hear the bottle pop. He's probably not texting me. Well, no, so this bottle won't pop. But when Steve texts me, it will. Or Janine can text me. Someone can text me. Come on. Did you hear it? Hear it? Isn't that awesome? And now my phone's blown up. So now we turn on Do Not Disturb. All right. Anyway, so yeah, so I took the bottle pop and I made it a ringtone. So now that is my text ringtone. I think it's cool. If you want it, I'll find a way to share the file with you. If you guys want it, you have to figure out how to get it on. You have to figure out how to get it on your phone. I had to do it through iTunes for my phone, but now anytime I get a text, I get the bottle pop goes. So anyway, on that note, this is my water bottle for tonight. It's not going to pop. So cool. Cheers. I don't want to make a mess. Let's get this show done. 223. Cheers. Oh, I missed a little bit. Woo! Man. Chris, I was thinking of you all day, man. Source Films on Instagram is a good buddy of mine. We share some common numbers. 223 certainly is one of them. So yes, I was very excited to find out this episode was going to be episode 223. So, yep, I was truly, earlier today, I was like, when I knew it was going to be episode 223, I was like, Chris needs to see this. So, welcome, dude, for episode 223. All right, episode 223. Jennifer says, I'm still astounded that your sweet Janine collects your bottles all over the house and refills them. Yeah, me too. She's awesome. All right, here we go, episode 223. Let's get this done. You want to go to bed? I want to go to bed. Let's do this. So if you want the bottle pop sound, I'll find a place to put it somewhere so you guys can have it. So cool. Here we go. 223. Ready? Go. One big breath. I am your host, Fat Dag. You're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at fatdag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at WhysAdvice. Send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello there. Welcome to a very special episode of Wise Advice, episode number 223. If you missed it today, we got a couple things going on. The TV show I flew up to New York for was finally released, and I put a link on my Facebook page. Also put it on Instagram as well. But you certainly can watch that. It's about a 15-minute show. The comments I've gotten back, I'm very pleased with. All of you guys loved it. I think you found out there was a lot of great information in the show. So it's the show is called Let's Talk with Jody Daly. Episode 16 is the one that was out there. So I want you to go check that out. Like I said, you can find it on Facebook. You can find it in my YouTube channel at FatDag. You can certainly find it on Instagram as well. Episode 223, for those of you who follow along, 23 is a good special number of mine, so 223 is even more special. A good buddy of mine, Chris, is joining. Source Films is his Instagram handle. He's joining in live right now. So, Chris, always good to see you, my friend. Thanks for being here for a special episode 223. A lot of you may not know, but when it came a point for me to try and figure out what I was going to do with my life, Chris and I had some heart-to-heart conversations, and some of the things we talked about, he put me on this path of understanding a greater purpose in life and understanding that there are some things that are just more important than life than some of the materialistic things that we try and somewhat focus on, and helping people and being true to ourselves and all that stuff is what he put me in touch with. And him and I talked back frequently. For there a point in time we were, every 20 minutes or so we would text each other back and forth, and then we both realized that neither one of us were getting any work done. So we had to slowly curb that back, and now we don't talk enough, but we certainly do. So Chris, it's truly an honor to have you here. Again, you guys, always, I appreciate you joining in on the live show. The live show is live on Instagram, live on Facebook, live on YouTube. To find out when I'm going to do the show, the best opportunity is follow the Wise Advice account on Twitter. That is the one account that I predominantly use just to let you know anything about the show. If I'm going to do a show, if I have to cancel a show, I have to reschedule a show, I put that out on the Wise Advice app. Turn the notifications on for that. You will never miss a live episode ever again. Like I said, they're live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You can certainly catch in. The live audience makes it fun. We interact quite well. There's about 110 or so folks joining in right now. And the rest of you will certainly hear this as it gets released. But I want to kind of preface you for tonight's show. Tonight's show could be an emotional roller coaster, and I want to give you that heads up ahead of time. Certainly, as these emails come into my box, and it is so sometimes it's hard for me to process all of it. Because certainly I've never had any true experience as a counselor or anything in that regard. So sometimes, as we go through this weight loss journey, there are things that impact our journey that, quite frankly, I'm not qualified to talk about. Tonight could be one of those shows, so I'll preface you with that. Certainly I have no medical degree. I have no counseling degree in any stretch, but I understand weight loss, and I understand how emotions play into our journey, and I understand how you could want to be your best, and there are certain things that certainly derail you along the way. And so that's what we're going to kind of address tonight. Like I said, hang on for the ride. Kathleen writes in and says, well, hi, Mike. I'm writing today to tell you my story in the theme of your kids are watching you. Well, in my case, it's different than you think. I actually have a daughter who was diagnosed with an eating disorder, anorexia, specifically at the age of 13. At the time, in 2015, I had been doing Weight Watchers for about a year, and I lost 20 pounds, which was halfway to goal. This was in the midst of my separation from her alcoholic father, and I was taking my life back the only way that I could at the time. Well, and then my daughter was diagnosed. She was so ill that she was close to hospitalization and had to check into a residential care center for 6 weeks. During one of her family therapy sessions, she said that one instigator for her eating disorder was my doing Weight Watchers and watching me weigh and measure and count everything every day. Well, of course, I was devastated when I heard this, and I stopped dieting immediately. When you have a family member who's in recovery from this disease, there is zero diet talk allowed. No discussion of points or calories. We couldn't refer to anything as healthy or fattening. No weighing or measuring or marking of boxes with point values. We couldn't talk about goals to fit into clothes or wanting to work out. Once my daughter came home to continue her recovery, in my mind, it was my job as a parent to show her that it was okay and normal to eat any kind of food, including the high-fat food, because, well, nothing could be off limits. Of course, I gained back that 20 pounds pretty quickly, plus 10 more, and I got back into my habits of self-soothing with food. I was now 50 pounds from goal. Looking back, it is what I had to do at the time. I know that I tried to maintain healthy eating at all the time, but I was doing that while I wasn't in her presence, and if I didn't do that, I would have gained so much of the weight back. But I didn't do this, and I fell back into my self-soothing eating habits. Fast forward 3 years, and things are so much better. She and I agreed we needed a change of scenery, and we moved to a different state 2 years ago. She decided she wanted to be happy and healthy and continues to fully embrace her recovery. She joined a swim team and is teaching swimming during the summers. She and I started going to the gym, and we were just completed our first triathlon in July. Things are so much better. So, how does Weight Watchers fit into all of this? I decided at the beginning of the last year that I, at 51 years old, also deserve to be healthy. Like so many people, my blood pressure was getting borderline too high, my joints were achy, and I did not love the way I felt or looked. I signed up for Weight Watchers online only February 2018. It's been tough to do this in secret from the person that I live with, but it's been completely worth it. This past weekend, I told her I was on plan again. But this time, it's so different. I told her my why. It's completely about being healthy, maintaining a good heart, bones, and blood pressure so that we can do fun things for the rest of my life. I still keep it extremely low key, and I'm doing online only. No marking things with points in the house, no talking about the program, and she totally gets it. She is happy to see that my priority is health, not dieting. Time will only tell whether she has beat this disease all the way, but I know that my being a healthier, happier mama can only help. Still, I have 20 pounds to get to goal, and although this is going very slowly, that is okay. I am so much happier now, and I am overjoyed to say that my daughter is healthy. Wish me luck in getting to my goal. Thank you, Mike, for being here for us. I am so grateful for you and your podcast and the Wingman community. It's such a valuable support. I love it when you tell us to be positive because I've always tried to live that way, and I'm happy to have a friend in positivity. Best always, Kathleen. Kathleen, thank you for your email. And as you probably could have guessed, what a devastating journey this has for you, but I'm incredibly proud to hear that you've turned it around. And so you're obviously a very strong parent, which I think is incredible. I think as you go through this, the things that you had to do at the time, I think were absolutely the right decision to get you to where you are today. So the first thing you opened up with, in the midst of your separation from her alcoholic father, that you were taking your life back the only way that you could at the time. I think that indicates an incredibly strong person. It's not easy to do that as you went through all this, and certainly, life's emotions and the turmoil that we put ourselves through almost always, in most cases, lead to some unhealthy habits, aka weight gain. So let's talk about, at 13, obviously you're right. Your kids are watching everything they do, and while I don't believe your actions 100% contributed to her eating disorder, I can see where the connection or the correlation could be suggested. And so what I want to share with you is that you living a healthy, happy life certainly now is the role model for her, and that's what she's now able to see as you continue to completely take care of yourself. And Anna chimes in on Facebook and says, "Kathleen, you got this," which I think is with a big hug, and I think that's an indication that we all feel is that we know the roller coaster that you're on is what you had to be on, but as you go through this now, fast forwarding 3 years into it, and you guys are now talking about exercise and you're doing triathlons together, and you framed it very perfectly, and you said that you're back on plan, but it's different, and you told her your why. It is completely about being healthy, maintaining a good heart, maintaining good bones, maintaining good blood pressure, so that you can do fun things for the rest of your life. I think that has to be the focus. I think when we understand that so many people, the diet world is full of every single possible solution out there, and if your only goal is to lose weight, then yeah, they're doable by and large, but your goal should be beyond wanting to lose weight. Your goal certainly could be wanting to be healthier, wanting to lower my blood pressure, wanting to just feel good about yourself so that you can prolong your life. And I think that is how you're able to now find the success that you're looking for, and then you're able to now model what healthy, happy behavior looks like without the focus of I'm on a diet and I'm restricting my food intake. I think there's a way, and I think you found that happy balance to do that. So I'm not going to wish you luck in getting to your goal, and what I'm going to wish you, as you probably could guess, I'm going to wish you good focus as you work on continuing to improve your health, continuing to eat properly, nutritious meals that satisfy your goal for wanting to be healthy, live healthy, act healthy, and model that healthy behavior. So I appreciate your last line saying you're happy to have a friend and positivity. I believe that's incredibly true. I think we can always find things that are not going our way, and if we look for them. But the same is true if we look for the things that are going right. We certainly can find our way there. And you clearly have so many positive things going on in your life that if you just were overshadowed by the negative, you could lose sight of them. But the relationship you now have with your daughter, and the fact that you rescued her from probably a bad situation years ago, and you continued to be by her side, she's incredibly fortunate and blessed to have such an incredible, supportive mom in that sense. So congrats on that. Very, very proud of you. Keep up the great work. Keep us posted. We want to certainly cheer and celebrate with you as you go through this process. So the next email I want to get to, Gina writes in. Gina says, "Well, dear Fat Dag, before I deactivate my Weight Watchers account, I thought I should write to you, and perhaps by the end of my letter, I will feel one last push to get back on program. I am literally at the end of my rope and about to let go of all hope of ever losing this weight. I have written to you once before, and I may have disclosed information about my past and all the ups and downs I've had, and they've caused and maintained a healthy lifetime of my eating problems. Well, I grew up in a highly dysfunctional family, lots of abuse, multiple awful family dynamics with a mother who married 4 times and chose men who either abused her or me. My life has been filled with family pain, loss, and a lack of a ion family, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on with the perfect breeding grounds for me to either turn to drugs or food, and I chose food and excessive exercise. Food has always brought me a certain comfort that when I crave something, I feel like an addict. I'm unable to stop thinking about it or wanting it until I relent and give in and eat it. Then comes the remorse, the tummy upset, and the need to exercise to burn it off. Once I hit my 40s, I had to give up running due to injuries, and the pounds began to pack on. No more release from exercise and all the benefits that brought with it." Sorry, and then but the need to eat goes away, and as a result, I found Weight Watchers up about 18 years ago. I've used the program for many years, joining and quitting and rejoining over and over again. But this year, something awful happened, and I have not found the strength to get back to caring again. during April of this past year, my son tried to commit suicide. Luckily, he did not succeed, but he had to be hospitalized for about a week. When that happened, I completely hit rock bottom. I could care less about what I ate. All I wanted was to know my son would be okay. The stress of suicide has many awful repercussions that reach beyond the one who tries to take their life. As a parent, I walked around with this awful secret that I would not speak about. I did not want my son judged, and I did not want to make his attempt public. It was the worst week of my life. As a result, I reached out for counseling for myself. My son had already been in counseling for 2 years, and we increased his session to help him cope with his anxiety and the depression. We are doing all that we can as a family, involving health professionals, and we are always open to their advice. But life in our house is not without stress. Every time life gets hard around here, I live captive in fear with the fact that I have no control over so many things going on around me. I crave food to comfort myself, and I seem to have this internal dialogue where the voice that wants it overpowers any why that I have. In that moment, I don't care about being fat. I don't care that I'm on Weight Watchers. I don't care that clothes are getting tight again. All I care about is eating what I want when I want it. All my dreams go out the window, and I think I don't care what I weigh. My desire to eat those high point foods overpowers me, and I become a slave to the need to eat it. Anyway, I could ramble on for quite a while about my problems and what makes me eat. Truly, although you say I believe in you, I don't believe in myself. And until I do, I cannot do this. I pay my Weight Watcher fee each month, and my food log sits empty. What is my problem? How do I turn around such a downward spiral? I want to be healthy and feel like I have control over my food choices, but my willpower is nil. It sounds sad, doesn't it? I suppose we all face challenges and hardships, but I seem to crumble under the weight of them. I know all the motivational phrases and tips, and I've been on Weight Watchers for many years. I know Weight Watchers works too. I just lack the motivation. Any suggestions? I'm at a complete loss, and it's such a tough place to be. How do I begin again for the 100th time? I feel like a train wreck, but if I keep this up at this rate, I'll be in a huge mess once the holidays hit. I'm sorry, this is not an upbeat and positive. You're doing such a great service for so many with your show, and I thank you for your selfless dedication to our country and the weight loss community. God bless you for being someone we can look to for hope and inspiration, and I'm looking for hope, Gina. Gina, thank you for writing in and sharing such a painful part of your journey, such a painful part of your life, and my heart breaks for you. But as you said, I'm glad to see, just like you said, that he didn't succeed, luckily. So that's the good news in all this. And so we certainly now can repiece and rebuild your life. And I want to kind of deviate from that in the minute. And so, you started off successful in the beginning of your email, saying that you knew how to do this, and as you were working through the program, obviously not working it in the way you're working it now, but you were able to use running and as a method to kind of maintain and balance your weight. And I'm glad you shared that part, because so many folks, I think, get in this trap and this mindset that we get into these fitness routines as we're losing the weight, and because we enjoy working out more, and what happens is suddenly we feel and believe that we can eat slowly more and more and more because we can exercise more and more and more, and then almost always something happens, either it's an injury or moving or a job change, or something happens and your exercise isn't the same level because your life changed. And then at that point, if you haven't gotten the eating under control, then everything becomes out of balance, out of whack at that point as well. So I'm glad you opened that up at the beginning of your email. But as you now struggle through what you said, completely hitting rock bottom, I think that's a fair assessment. I think you're certainly allowed to have been there. I think you have to give yourself permission for, at this point in your life, figuring out, okay, this is the hand I've been dealt. I now have to deal with this. So as that scenario plays into your life, you now have to make adjustments. And I completely agree. I would care less at that point what I ate. And I just want my family and my children to be okay. So the awful repercussions that, they certainly do reach well beyond someone taking their life, just as you said. And so now here you are, having to now piece that together into your life. And I'm proud to say that your writing here is a great first step. And you say, okay, I know what I actually want. If you didn't want it, you wouldn't have written in. So deep down, all the way in, you understand what it is you're after. And so we just need a community now that rallies around you and says, we got you. As I type this, the Facebook community goes crazy, saying, it's time to heal your heart, heal your body and your soul, and just heal. And that's where you're at right now. That is the answer for you. And so I don't want you to have to feel like, okay, I have to do that, and then at the same time I have to now rebuild my entire life at the same time. That may be overwhelming, and I think that's perfectly acceptable and okay for you to understand that. So when you ask the question, what is my problem? My answer back to you is, I never saw one. I didn't see something specific in your email that I would label as your problem. I wouldn't say you're in a downward spiral. I would say that you're in a place that you've never been before, and you're trying to figure out what that looks like, feels like, and how you make changes. And so you're in a place you've never been. It's a place you certainly don't want to be, because that's what made you reach out. And so now we say, okay, now how do we rebuild this? So as you talk about this and say, I truly still do, even with all this going on, I believe in you. And I'll say it again, I absolutely 100% believe in you. Because I know with all of this going on, the fact that you reached out, the fact that you drafted it out, it took you a while to get this written down, and I'm sure it brought tears as you were doing it. So that tells me there is a ray of hope inside of you that also truly does believe, or at least want this to be possible. So what I want you to do is I want you two things. I want you, one is to not worry about it. That's number one. But number two is that as you slowly start to rebuild your life, I don't want you to put weight loss as your goal. I want you to put being healthy, eating healthy, making healthier choices as your goal. And what I want you to do is I want you to now don't try and like tackle this whole thing at once. As you sit there and start craving foods and high point foods, and that desire overpowers you, I firmly believe that you have to find out what triggers are there. And so those triggers for me often come at nighttime. And the things that have saved me the most is not physically having it in the house when the nighttime came around. So this journey for you now is now going to turn into a project management where you have to start making some plans. And I want you to set smaller goals. I want you to not worry about tracking an entire week. I don't want you to worry about tracking an entire year. I want you to just simply make better choices at the grocery store, and then I want you to simply think about tracking a single meal once. That's it, one time. See if you can do that. As you do that, assess that and say, okay, now wait, can I do that again? And so I really believe that a lot of this is just completely overwhelmed with everything that you have going on. Opening the app and tracking something is just certainly not on your radar to get this done. So knowing all the motivational phrases, I get it. Knowing the tips and tricks, I get it. That truly isn't what we need. It's all motivational stuff, but if our brain isn't locked into why are we doing this, then it's all the motivational tips, tricks in the world certainly aren't going to make that much of a difference. So I don't think this sounds sad at all. I didn't read your email, and I wasn't sad for you as I read it. What the feeling and the emotion I felt as I read your email is, here's someone who was in a point in her life that she's never been at before, and she now is looking for help. And no, it's not sad. It's just a confusion. It's an uncertainty of, how do I do this? I'll give you the same information I give almost all the time is take this letter that you've written and dig deeper into your why. And so what is it that you're expecting to get out of this journey? What is it that you're hoping to accomplish? Who would you expect is responsible for this? We've outlined what the hardest thing you've ever done in your life, and you've made it through that. So clearly you have the strength to do one thing at a time and break it up into smaller goals, celebrate those along the way, and get it done. Gina, again, if you're not already and you want to get into the Facebook group, the Wise Women Facebook group, you certainly can join us in there, and you'll find that private group is completely supportive, and it's one of the most amazing groups I've been a part of, because there's no judgment. We're in there, and we're all just getting it done, And right now, so many of them are chiming in right now with prayers and thoughts for you and your entire family, which I think is absolutely fantastic. Next up, Heidi writes in with an email. Says, Dear Mike, almost a year and a half ago, I started listening to your podcast. I had just made a commitment to myself to start walking more, and I came across mention of your podcast on Connect. I was immediately hooked, and the podcast became part of my motivation to get out walking regularly. It also helped me keep my mind right and gave me focus on attendance goals, WhysAdvice, rather than how many other tools to turn my focus off. Well, I write today because one day while walking, I decided to try to run when I was about a mile away from home. My goal was to run a 1 mile block. Well, I shocked myself when I was able to run the full mile back to my home. I then stuck with attendance goals, but some days I would run, some days I would walk, depending on how I felt. Eventually, it turned into pretty much only running. Well, I'm not fast. I don't even try to be usually. I only have the goal to show up. In time, all of that showing up turned into a true love of running. Who am I? Well, I'm the girl that used to say running was for crazy people. Well, this past weekend, I realized a goal that I'd given up on over a decade ago, thinking it was impossible. The goal? Running a half marathon. I can still hardly believe I did it, but I completed a half marathon with no walking, and I had a blast. And who was I listening to for that 2 hours, 21 minutes, and 58 seconds? You. Thank you for being my running buddy, running along with me as a wingman the entire way. Your podcast has been a big part of my success. Yes, I know it's just one tool. However, I'm so very grateful that you decided to spend your time this way. Sincerely, and thank you. I reached my weight loss goal in October 2017, 1 year after joining for the last time. I am not going to lie, this half marathon non-skip victory is every bit as sweet as hitting my weight loss goal. May you continue to be blessed and find fulfillment in your ongoing journey. God bless, Heidi. Heidi, congratulations. What a fun thing, going from all the way to, not being able to run to running a half marathon without stopping is all you and your willpower to want to get it done. Certainly, you're fortunate that your body had the physical capability of doing it, but it's so cool that you were able to finally recognize that and absolutely get it done. So thanks for taking me with you, and thanks for proving to our entire community that the journey to a half marathon starts with just one step. When you started and you decided to run a block, which turned into a mile, which somehow turned into 13.1, that's an incredible journey and victory. And I would certainly love to hear more about that in that sense, because you've seen so many apps out there, the Couch to 5K, and then the Couch to half marathon, and there's some other programs out there that get you into that, and you did that. And I think what's incredibly inspiring about that is that you've proven to our community that it's possible, provided that your body is capable of doing it, but once the body is capable, the mind really takes over. And you're right, hitting your half marathon non-skip victory is every bit as sweet as hitting a weight loss goal. So I am incredibly proud of you. I think the email is awesome. I'm thrilled that you took me along with you. I'm laughing that for 2 hours and 21 minutes you kept listening to the podcast. And had I known, I would have recorded a special episode specifically for you, or at least some sort of motivational quote and cheer as we went through. But Heidi, congratulations. Great job. I'm very proud of you. 2 hours, 21 minutes, 58 seconds. That, my friend, is an incredible accomplishment from someone who just started out just wanting to walk more. So keep up the amazing work. Thanks for being an inspiration. Thanks for sharing your incredible success with the community. Next up is out of Alexandria, Virginia. Rachel writes in, says, Hi, Fat Dag. Hey, I'm writing to you 17 pounds down. Yep, I did that. First and foremost, thank you for making any loss something to be proud of. In fact, thank you for making showing up something to be proud of. In July of this year, when I decided to give Weight Watchers a try for the third or fourth time, I did so because I was desperate and I knew it worked. Like many who write in, I struggled with my weight for as long as I can remember. I clearly remember being put on the Atkins diet at around age 12 and losing some weight, but that's when the food sneaking began. I remember going back into the kitchen to get second and third packets of strawberry Pop-Tarts. Fast forward to college when I was staying with a friend during her birthday, and me being the early riser that I am, I snuck a few pieces of cake for breakfast before anyone else was awake. Then I proceeded to have breakfast with everyone. Oh, and don't get me started on baking. I could eat a whole batch of cupcakes and then finish the icing off faster than you could imagine. The first time I tried Weight Watchers was in 2011. I was in college at age 23 and I was tagged in a picture and honestly didn't recognize myself. One of my friends had done Weight Watchers and lost a good amount of weight. She gave me all of her books and the advice that she could. I started the next day. I threw everything into the program. In around 7 months, I lost 70 pounds. I felt amazing. I didn't feel like the fat friend anymore. I promised myself I would never go back to 232 pounds again. Well, to be fair, I've kept that promise. I never saw 232 again, but I did see 190, 195, then back to 170, then to 185. The next few years saw marriage, new jobs, careers, countless moves, and one out-of-state move. My weight was constantly fluctuating. Then I found keto. This was in last June. I saw instant success, but I found it hard to stick to it realistically in my day-to-day life. But the summer of this year, I was back up to 190 and I felt awful. My clothes didn't fit. I was bloated. I was tired. I signed up for Weight Watchers the week of July 4th. I'm down 17 pounds. Finding your podcast has helped me sort through all kinds of emotions and thoughts. Complacency is real. Writing down your why is the most important part of the journey. My why seemed generic, but it's so powerful to me to be a fit and healthy woman. I don't know why, but writing down that I'm going to be and already am a fit and healthy woman just made it all so real. Nothing is more important to me than that why. I can't wait to celebrate turning 30 this year and hopefully starting a family next year. Weight Watchers and You Fat Dag have given me my youth back. I know I can make goal this time. I never really thought I could in the past, but this time is different. I am in control. I am living the plan and my life, and I'm loving every minute of it. Thank you for your focus and belief in me, and it means more than you know. I will see you in DC, Rachel. Rachel, that's right. We will be in DC October 20th, so I can't wait to see you there. But how cool is your email? Congrats on the 17 pounds down. I know the struggle that is, and so you continue to work the program and get it done. You can hit any single goal that you set yourself out for. You're right, I celebrate any loss or just showing up. That is something you absolutely need to be proud of. Those pieces are the most difficult to do this. Just simply showing up and wanting to do this and doing it, making any sort of progress at all, as that is where the success lies. I think so many times we have to believe, or we are taught to believe, that success is something other than just showing up. That you have to be, a million pounds lost in the first week, or else it's failure. And so I take it one step further. No. Just attempting to want to do this is something you need to be proud of. You've made that conscious decision, and showing up is what gets it done. Now, I think in your email, one of the cool things about your email is that you started on Atkins, and then you started keto, and then you found all kinds of different programs along the way, and you've actually had success on every program that you've tried. And I want you to think about that. So every program that you've tried, you did have success on. You said it a couple of times. You said one was instant success, and you said, immediately had success, and and then you said you were losing some weight. So what the secret ingredient to all that is you. So you now understand that no matter what program we give you, you can follow it to get success. What I want you to do is I want you to find a program, and I believe this is the one, but I believe you can find a program that now lets you live a healthy, balanced life and enables you to keep living that life so that you can reward yourself and you can reap the benefits of that success. When you first started, you said you threw everything into the program after being tagged in a photo on Facebook, losing 70 pounds in 7 months. Well, that's incredible focus. And so it's that level of focus that got it done. It's that level of focus that you also were able to apply as you did Atkins. It's that level of focus that you applied as you were doing keto. It's that level of focus I now want you to continue to apply as you continue to work this program. You've proven that it works again. You've proven that you've lost 17 pounds. You absolutely can get it done. Getting your why written down absolutely ties you into it, makes it real, makes you want to get it done, makes you understand what it is you're living for. I've asked so many people to continue to write in their why, and I think the most important reason for that is it does make it real when you actually put it on pen and paper. The next piece is I don't want you to relive your why. I want you to just have that to read and motivate yourself as you go through and get it done. So Rachel, thank you for your amazing email. I'm excited to come to Washington, D.C. Like I said, we're going to, as part of the international tour, we roll through on October 20th. I will be in D.C. speaking at the Food Nutrition Conference and Expo. We're doing a panel on what's called military crisis, the link between obesity and national security. So I'll certainly be in town for that. Look for that information. And then, by all means, we'll certainly go out and do a run of 5K as well. So thank you for writing in, and I can't wait to see you as well. We will certainly celebrate and high five your 17-pound weight loss, because I think that is incredible success as you roll through your journey, and I can't wait to see an update at that point. So, folks, what is it that you're celebrating? Let's share it on the air. Let's go to fatdag.com, click on the Wise Advice podcast link, send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions. I'll work them in as part of the show. I want you to email in your celebrations. I want you to absolutely be proud of what you're doing. What you're doing takes hard work. You absolutely can do it, but you have to understand why you're doing it. And then as you understand why and you continue to work it and you continue to share it with other people become inspired and they become inclined to want to get it done as well. You can do this. And as you share it, other people realize they can do it as well. Well, that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus. Boop, boop. All right. Ooh, episode 223 done. Woo! Very cool. Isn't that the hardest part of this weight loss journey is truly understanding. Hopefully you heard that all night. The hardest part of this weight loss journey is truly understanding there's so much more that goes into it than simply losing weight, and simply tracking. And many of us have an emotional roller coaster that we've been living that contributed to this. And so so hard for us to understand that and then try and say, wait a minute, I'm actually trying to change my life, and but I have to understand that there are significant factors that led me to this point. So, certainly I wish I was more skilled in that area to be able to help in that diagnosis, but certainly this isn't the place to do that. But certainly thank you always for being here. So, yeah, Glenda says, dang, caught the end. We'll watch the recorded. Yep, for sure. It's already on YouTube, right? It's on Facebook. It'll be in the app, probably over in the evening as well. So very, very cool. Instagram, you're going to time out in a minute 36. I'm going to let that time out, and then we'll say goodbye to you. And then we'll slowly say goodbye to YouTube and then Facebook as well. We'll get this show done because it's late. I want to get it out for you as well, but I forgot to record it. So I'll have to pull the audio out of Facebook. So it happens every once in a while. I forget to hit one or two little buttons. I get distracted. I need to start making better notes. I have a big red light in front of me that should be blinking, and it's not blinking. So, but that's okay because we have the Facebook audio. We'll pull that out, and it'll be okay for what we're trying to do. But so on that note, Instagram, thank you for being here. Have a great night to you. Don't forget about the Meme Me Challenge. Grab some of those photos. It was just fun to watch them. It's kind of neat. And outside of that, we will see you soon. But I truly do wish you good focus. Good night. So Alice says, great show, very inspiring emails. Good night. Jan says, feeling better to Bev. Yep, I get it, both of you. Let's see, Diane, same thing, inspiring emails. I know, I love it when you guys write in and share some of these amazing things, because the thing it does for so many of us is that it just humanizes all of this, and so many of us are struggling with some of these issues, and we won't write in, and that's totally fine. But when you hear someone else do it, you're like, okay, wait a minute, I'm not alone in this journey. And I think that's all along what we've been trying to prove, is that no one is alone in this journey. So Jane says, good night. The Voice is starting in California. I'll tell you how about it. We just watched it here. I'll share every bit of it if you want, but no, I'm kidding. But cool. All right. On that note, let me say goodbye to YouTube. YouTube, thank you for being here. Thanks for everything, and we will see you shortly. I wish you, on your journey, I wish you great focus. Good night. And real quick, Helen says, daughter called and missed the end. We'll listen in the morning while making zucchini bread. Awesome. Good night.